Not long ago, I made a video in which I, the undisputed queen of all that is GMRS, I decreed that the new Baofeng UV-5G Plus was my favorite low-cost handheld walkie-talkie GMRS radio. Then even less long ago, I made a video in which I was swooning, gushing, and maybe even a tiny bit of dripping over how great the new Tidradio TD-H3 is and how it might be my new favorite low-cost GMRS handheld walkie-talkie radio. But unfortunately, all of these conflicting emotions begat much confucularity amongst the multitudes, causing many knowledge seekers to ask, which one is better? But verily I say unto you, which one is better depends upon how you define the word better based upon what is important to you in a radio. I will discuss more about that momentarily. But the point here is that in this video, I will compare these two very capable, low-cost, handheld GMRS walkie-talkie radios so that you can use your very atrophied thinking skills and decide all by yourself which handheld GMRS walkie-talkie radio is the best choice for you and your active GMRS lifestyle. First of all, allow me to introduce yourself to me. I am Randolfo Cafe, call sign KMG365, and just like all of those other ham radio and GMRS YouTubers, I too have a license, which means that I am an expert in everything, and I am just as qualified to talk about radios on the YouTubes as any of those other YouTubers. However, the difference between all of those lesser YouTubers and myself is that myself will not insult your intelligence by desperately begging you to click on the like or subscribe buttons. But do not underestimate me, because I will insult your intelligence using a variety of other methods. But do not worry, because most of those insults will probably go right over your head. And because I am also not out of touch with my viewers like all of those lesser YouTubers, I know and I fully understand that there are a lot of very confuculated people watching this video right now that are new to the exciting and dynamic world of GMRS. And so for them, allow me to begin with some basics. Both of these radios are GMRS radios, and like all GMRS radios, both are compatible with all other GMRS radios. And because both of these are GMRS radios, just like with all GMRS radios, they both work right out of the box, and they both come pre-programmed with the standard 22 GMRS channels and the 8 standard repeater channels. This means that you can use either radio right out of the box, no computer needed, no programming required. Just turn them on, select the channel, press the talk trigger, and talk. And most important, just like with any GMRS radio, the FCC says that to transmit on either of these two radios, thou must first pay for a permission slip, often referred to as a GMRS license. No license or permission slip is required to purchase either of these radios, and no permission slip is required to own or possess or listen to either of these radios. Our overlords at the FCC have decreed that you only need to purchase a permission slip if you want to transmit on one of these or any GMRS radio. However, it would be very biased and disingenuous of me if I did not also point out that according to the FCC's own public record on enforcing their own rules, the FCC does not really seem to care very much at all if someone transmits on a GMRS radio without first purchasing the aforementioned permission slip. This is the Baofeng UV-5G Plus handheld GMRS walkie-talkie radio. And this is the Tidradio TD-H3 handheld GMRS walkie-talkie radio. The cost for the Baofeng UV-5G Plus is around $35 of monies, and for your convenience, I will place an affiliate link below in the more information section of the video that you can use to purchase one or look up more information about this radio. The cost for the Tidradio TD-H3 handheld GMRS walkie-talkie radio is around $50 of monies, although you can often find it for less monies. And I will place another affiliate link below in the more information section of this video that you can use to purchase one of these for your very self or to look up more information about this radio. And just for clarification and hopefully to prevent some people from declaring that I am just a shill for either of these two companies, Tidradio sent me this radio at no cost, and I paid full price for the Baofeng radio. The TD-H3 is available in black, it is available in clear, and it is available in this lovely lime green flavor. And the Baofeng UV-5G Plus is available in any color that you want, as long as the only color that you want is black. And as you can see with your very own skull-mounted ocular juice balls, the Baofeng UV-5G Plus is slightly larger than the TD-H3, and they both have very similar buttons and controls. However, the buttons on the UV-5... As I was saying, the buttons on the Baofeng... Now I lost my place. Anyway, the buttons on the UV-5G Plus are larger than on the TD-H3, making it easier to press the buttons on the UV-5G Plus if you happen to have fat Cheetos-stained fingers. You may also observe that the screens are very similar in size. However, the screen on the Baofeng UV-5G Plus at 1.9 inches is slightly larger than the 1.4 inches of screen featured on the TD-H3. And for all intensive purposes, both screens perform fairly well in bright sunlight. However, to me, it looks like the TD-H3 does slightly better when looking at the main screens of the radio. However, when in menu mode, because of the dark red color that the 5G Plus uses on the menus, it is nearly impossible to see the menu items in bright light. Just like all GMRS radios, both of these two radios come with antennas. However, the antenna that comes with the 5G Plus is slightly longer, and it is more flexible than the shorter and more rigid antenna on the TD-H3. Neither of these two radios are of the super heterodyne persuasion, and this is the main reason why they are both so relatively inexpensive. Indeed, both of these radios are of the SoC, or System on a Chip design, otherwise known as homodyne radios. If you are new to the exciting and dynamic world of radios and you do not know why having a super heterodyne or a homodyne type radio matters, let not your heart be troubled and be not afraid, because normal people will never notice the difference between the two types of radios other than noticing that an SoC or homodyne radio costs less monies. As you can see, the battery on the UV-5G Plus is larger in stature than on the TD-H3, and one might expect and assume that to mean that the 5G Plus battery can hold more electricities. However, that would be a wrong assumption on your part, because indeed both batteries can hold 2,500 milliamp hours of electricities, and both batteries can be charged via the USB-C's hole. No need for a charging cradle for either radio. Both of these two radios can monitor and listen to 2 channels at the same time, and on both radios that feature can be disabled to reduce confuculation. However, on the 5G Plus, when you turn off dual monitoring, you will still see both channels on the screen. Whilst with the H3, when you turn off dual monitoring, you will see only the single channel, making the screen slightly less busy and slightly easier to read than on the 5G Plus, even though the screen is slightly smaller. The H3 features a microphone gain control option in the menus, which many people may find very helpful if transmitting from very noisy locations. However, the 5G Plus has no such microphone gain option. The 5G Plus can store 969 channels, whilst the H3 can store only 199 channels. Both of these radios are repeater capable, both can receive UHF and VHF, and both can receive commercial FM radio and NOAA frequencies. However, the H3 can also receive a lot more frequencies than the 5G Plus can receive. In the interest of time, I shall not list all of the frequencies, but the H3 has a much wider range of frequencies that it can receive versus the 5G Plus. The 5G Plus is a GMRS radio, and as such, it is locked down to transmitting only on GMRS channels. The H3 is also a GMRS radio, however, it can also be very easily switched to operate as a ham radio and transmit on ham radio frequencies, should one choose to do so. But wait, there's more. The H3 can also very easily be fully unlocked, allowing it to transmit on a huge range of frequencies. And this ability makes the H3 very valuable to many people that wish to be able to transmit on more than just the GMRS or ham radio frequencies. In my testing, the 5G Plus outputs a little more power on the GMRS channels than the H3 does. However, both of these radios are able to connect to my 2 favorite repeaters, one at 35 miles away and the other at 69 miles away. And I could talk with my friend Conrad, the chef, who everyone knows is crucial to my channel in helping me test radios. I am able to reach Conrad, the chef, while he is standing in his front yard using his Kenwood walkie-talkie radio 13 miles away, and that is while using the stock antennas on both radios. And while your FARs will vary, I was not able to detect any significant difference in FARs between these 2 radios when transmitting on the GMRS channels. And by the way, just a personal note to my friend Conrad, the chef. Me and all of my viewers hope that you are feeling better, and we all hope to hear you back on the radio soon. And to everyone watching, please take 10 seconds out of your very busy life and leave a comment below demanding that the chef get well soon. Doing any optional programming or changing settings on either of these radios via the keypad is virtually an identical process, and both radios are chirp compatible. The 5G Plus requires a K1 type connector cable to connect to your computer, which must be purchased separately for around $20 of monies. The H3 can also use a K1 type connector, or it can also use a USB-C's cable to connect to your computer for programming, and that cable does come with this radio. The H3 can also be programmed wirelessly via Bluetooth using a free app for your smartphone, whilst the 5G Plus cannot be programmed wirelessly. The H3 can also do wireless cloning, meaning that if you have 2 TD-H3s, you can copy all programming from one radio to the other over the air wirelessly. No computer, no smartphone, no wires required. A function known by us licensed radio experts as cloning. The 5G Plus has no such feature. Both radios have the frequency copy or one-touch copy function, which is a fantastic feature. This allows the radio to display the frequency and any tones being used by any nearby radio, and then optionally save that information into a channel for later use. This feature works great on both radios. However, I found the process to be slightly easier on the H3 than on the 5G Plus. However, this may be due to my inability to focus and follow directions. The H3 has a voice scrambling feature, which is not encryption, but it jumbles up your voice so that only someone with another TD-H3 or another voice descrambling capable radio can understand what you are saying. The 5G Plus has no such feature. And yes, most impotently, both radios have a Roger beep. The 5G Plus Roger beep sounds like this. However, the H3 features two Roger beeps. One sounds like this, and the other sounds like this. The 5G Plus has side tones, which means that the people listening to you over the air and you can hear your Roger beep. However, the H3 has no side tone, meaning that only the people over the air can hear the smooth melodic tones of your Roger beeps. So in summary, these are both very capable, low-cost radios, and I enjoy them both very much. But the big question that everyone wants to know is, which one do I, the self-anointed queen of all that is GMRS, which one do I think is an overall better radio, and which of these two radios would the world-famous GMRS queen recommend that you purchase? My friend, I think that it is obvious to anyone watching and that has actually been paying attention that when you compare all of the features, all of the options, and the prices of these two radios, that the best radio and the radio that you should purchase right now is the